Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to do a brief update on Bitcoin, see what's been going on most recently and what we think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check that out. Okay, let's make a start with this then, right? So here we have Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. We're going to start here, then we're going to work our way up to the daily, and some interesting things to talk about on there as well. And of course, we are talking the weekly close, and then tomorrow we have the monthly close. There's a lot of things to be thinking about over the next couple of days. So here we have Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the hourly, right? And I think we've got another test of this low area. I'm just not liking the structure as it stands at the moment. So we kind of have this three-wave drop, right? We have that towards the 20,550. And now it is possible, and I will note this, that these wicks just down here have basically brought a close to this. Okay, so that could be the bottom here, and we can just rally on up. I think, however, we're likely to come back down and retest this area one more time, and then look to launch up from there. Okay, we are looking at this higher range at the end of this. Okay, so I'm thinking somewhere between 20,550 and 20,653 is where we're going to kind of be on this next test of this low range. And then we're going to look to move up towards 21,264 or 21,677. Now, I don't like the structure on how we get there. We'll note that this is a 5-wave move, or supposed to be a 5th wave move, but the structure in the way that it's moving up there doesn't give me the confidence to think that this is looking like a good 5-wave move. Now, we can argue a lot of overlap and things that are going on in here, and you know, it just doesn't really make terribly too much sense. You'd look for a 5-wave move, could be an ending diagonal, could be a multiple different things here, so just going to be a little bit cautious with it. We're not looking at too much in terms of percentage points here, a couple of percent probably, and to kind of get into that range. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, if I bring the stochastic RSI up, you can see that we're nice and low here on our hourly, and we've actually got the cross on the signal line. There's nothing else kind of major concerns with the 8 or hourly. The daily is overbought, so I do think there's going to be a collapse down at some point. Just check the 4-hour here. You've got a little bit of growth in it. On the 8-hour, it's okay. So we're not looking overly too concerned with it. I think there's going to be a little push to the upside. I'm taking us up into this yellow box range. Now, when I take a look at that and I think, okay, well, it looks like 3 waves rather than 5. If we do come back down into this lower range here, then we're going to be testing the upper area of that. But again, nothing is a guarantee, and we should be thinking about the resistances. Now, on this note, I'm just going to bring this up here because I do think there's some interesting areas right inside here. Okay, I'm just going to draw that across, and you can see these overlaps. And I do want to kind of have a look at, yeah, this one's a bit on the lower side. I wanted to do something around these wicks here. I wonder if there's anything that's going to add up if I draw that across. Have we got anything in here? Yeah, so this was area of resistance, turn to support. Right now, we're kind of fighting it a bit, so possibly move on from there if this continues to be support. Closing above this line could be pretty good, so one of those to kind of keep an eye out on it. I still think a move to the downside here is the most probable, because we start thinking about the structures. I have this one right in here. We also have this one here, okay? And then obviously we have that. So we kind of have these kind of waves coming down, and they do look like they are running. So we're setting up the lower lows, the lower highs. So all of that's looking okay to me. I'm pretty happy thinking that we're just going to retest this area one more time and then look for that move to the upside on Bitcoin there. So ultimately though, once done, if I bring this out and zoom out a bit, you can kind of see the scale of this thing. We are looking at just hitting this range and then getting rejected. Now there's a couple of things that are going on here. This dashed line at the top, this is 21,666. This is going to be a trigger point of basically saying that this is no longer an A wave, but a wave 1. This would be wave 2. this C wave that has these 5-wave structures would become a wave 3, would drop for wave 4, and then we go up into wave 5. So there's always that scenario to be aware of, which is why we have marked up here 21,660. So I'm thinking over the next couple of hours, maybe even by the time this video has gone out, we've retouched this yellow box range. Then we've come up here towards the latter part of today, maybe tomorrow, and then into Monday, rejected for monthly closures. So again, looking for the weekly close to be higher, possibly. So just keeping an eye on that. Now let's come over to the daily, because I did think this was an interesting one. It's been a while since we kind of reflected on this a little bit. So we have our kind of parallel channels, you know, where we're setting up the higher highs and the higher lows. We always break down from these. And when we go into lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, we break to the upside, right? So we have these breaking down. We have that one breaking down. Then we got into this triangular wedge just over here. Now, a lot of people will get this confused. They'll kind of see, oh, great, we broke out of this triangular wedge, we're bullish, right? That's not necessarily the case, but it was going to happen that we're coiling up, we're going to get a move. And if we take a look at this from an Elliott wave theory point of view, we would have it as looking like this. So we're kind of coming to range of completing that C wave structure. And, you know, internally within there, if I grab hold of this as well, you can kind of see those structures coming in as well. So essentially, I'm looking for rejection from around here. And we have to change some of these outlooks just a tad here now. Okay, so we still have this one here. Okay, at 16,735. This is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio that will look like this. 1, 2, and 3 coming down. Now, this move in the middle here also conforms to the same level at the moment. Okay, so again, if I were to now go ahead and do this, we can see that 1, 2, and 3. So we're getting a lot of confirmation around the $16,700 level. Okay, so we want to be very aware that there's a lot of things going on in here that could indicate that we are looking for a bit of a move to the downside. And these fibs are pretty key as well. 15.5, 14.8. 13,800. So really interesting kind of levels to be thinking about there. Now, if I do go ahead and just quickly bring up this chart, I think it's this one here on the weekly. Yeah, there we go. No, monthly. It's the monthly that I'm looking for, guys. It's the monthly. So this one here, let me just get rid of those, make it a little bit bigger. On here, we can see, you know, 13,800, and why that's important, that is right here on this level. This is a previous, basically June 2019 peak before we get rejected and crashed down to $3,800. Okay, so when we talk about the monthly levels, okay, I'm not going to do a whole video about this. I'm not going to talk too much about it today, more probably tomorrow, but essentially, you know, closing where we are right now, we're looking okay. We're looking at maybe closing above this level here, this dashed line of the previous all-time high. But if we close below, 13,800 is the next kind of stopping point on the monthly time frame. So when we think about that, and we think about where we are on these fibs, and we have this particular Fibonacci 1.618 also coming in at 13,800, then we want to be maybe potentially thinking things might take a turn for the worst. And all of this could just be the correction of a wave 2 before dropping down into a wave 3, then 4, then 5, and so forth. Now, obviously, we've spoken about those bearish situations before. We just want to kind of make sure that we're on track, right? If we're ever in doubt, we zoom out, we pay attention to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is looking like we're reaching an exhaustion to the upside. We bring our stochastic RSI up. You can see that we're up here, nice and high, as we come up towards the month end. So yeah, we're looking for a little bit of progression on the smaller timeframes, but the bigger timeframes, we're looking for downward price action. And I think that's pretty much common and consistent across most cryptocurrencies within the space. So yeah, that's a brief update, guys, on Bitcoin. I will leave it there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, out of the way, hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.